What's going my down my what the fuck? What's going down my pawns? Welcome back to a brand new special video, and today is a very special video, and the video that I've actually been thinking about doing for a very long time now, and actually something that I feel like that y'all have kind of been requesting me for a while now to do. And I feel like now is finally the time, since, you know, I don't know, at the time of this recording, it's Christmas Eve. Tomorrow will be Christmas. I'm not too sure when I'm going to be uploading this, probably maybe before, maybe after. But regardless, I made this video at this point in time because I know that some of you guys will be splurging on gifts and, you know, treating yourself this holiday season. And I know that some of you are actually going to be interested in splurging yourselves on the Danganronpa series. You guys already know that I love Danganronpa a lot. And a lot of you guys ask me all the time, how the hell do you get into the Danganronpa series? How do I watch the anime? Are they important? Are the mangas important? Are the novels important? Well, this video is going to be all about that. How to get into the Danganronpa series. And to be perfectly honest, this video is actually just going to be based off of just one single image that I found on Know Your Meme or Reddit, or somebody who made this image on the screen right here. This is basically like a great diagram for people who actually want to get into this series. It details a lot of the supplementary material and also the main material of the Danganronpa series, which aids a lot in terms of people wanting to know how to get into the series. But I know that a whole lot of people do not like to read, and I know that it's probably better if someone actually explained it in full detail. So this will be the definitive video on how to get into the Danganronpa series, so let's get started. The first installment of the series is Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, which is a game obviously, and it also has an anime adaptation in the name of Danganronpa the Animation, which basically is a 13 episode anime covering the events of the first game. This game is available on PC via Steam and PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4. Now this game actually originally did come out for the original PSP, but unfortunately it was actually not released outside of Japan, and unfortunately the only way that you can actually translate the Japanese version for the PSP is if you actually have a fan translation, much akin to how Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix was actually translated by fans. And then the real version actually came out 7 years later. How the frick did they I'm still not over that. The next installment in the series is Danganronpa 2, which is a game, but there is no anime adaptation, and is available on PC via Steam, PlayStation Vita, and PlayStation 4. This game also has an original PSP release, but it was only released in Japan and only has a fan translation version. By the way, the fan translation version of Danganronpa 1 and 2, called Hope's Academy okay, I don't understand how to say that. The name is on screen, but they refer to Hope's Academy as that, so I'm pretty sure I know which version to play as for me personally. Oh yeah, by the way, this game actually has spoilers for Danganronpa 1. Seeing as how this game actually is the sequel to Danganronpa 1, it's pretty much, I mean, no shit. The next installment in this series, which came out in 2014, oh, I should probably notice that Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc came out in 2010, Danganronpa 2 came out in 2012, and Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls actually came out in 2014. It's a spin-off game, and it can be skipped, but you still need to know at least a summary, including overall synopsis, ending, and characters to get later stuff, namely in Danganronpa 3. It's available on PC via Steam and PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4. It never actually had an original PSP release, which is actually pretty understandable. I mean, this is 2014, the PlayStation Vita is already out, so yeah. Now this is actually where things get pretty tricky, because this game actually has spoilers for Danganronpa 1 and 2, you know, obviously because it's actually the next installment in the series, so it's like, oh yeah, this is the third game technically, right? It takes place after 1 and 2. Well, actually not really. This game actually takes place after the events of Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc and before the events of Danganronpa 2. So in a way, it is a prequel to Danganronpa 2. Now obviously this game has spoilers for both games because it does actually tell a lot of spoilers for how Danganronpa 2 was set up. So I do not actually recommend anyone to go for the chronological route of the Danganronpa series. In fact, Danganronpa 0, which is, we're gonna get that out later, is actually a prequel manga and actually goes over key events before Danganronpa 1. So yeah, definitely play Ultra Despair Girls after you play Danganronpa 1 and 2. It's a great game. It's basically Resident Evil. I mean, it's actually a third-person shooter. It's a pretty damn good game. All right, now this is the big one. Danganronpa 3, the end of Hope's Academy, or high school. I don't give a freak what the heck it's called. This is an anime. It is not an adaptation of V3 and has no game equivalent at all. Do not watch one full arc before the other. Watch your recommended order, or you will get spoilers for the other arc. It's available on Crunchyroll, Funimation, or any other sources. Now, why am I actually getting intimidated while actually going over Danganronpa 3? Well, because Danganronpa 3 actually has a really weird kind of order, but it really does make sense. It is kind of really easy to follow, but it is kind of weird going into it. You see, technically this anime actually has 24 episodes, but they're split up in like a really weird way by 2 arcs, the future arc and the despair arc. There's also a final arc, which is called the hope arc, which is actually the final episode in the series, and actually the end of the entire Hope's Peak Academy saga, which is basically the entire games between Danganronpa 1 and Danganronpa 3. To watch this anime, I'm telling y'all right now, it's so fucking weird. You have to start off with Future Arc Episode 1, Despair Arc Episode 1, Future Arc Episode 2, and then Despair Arc Episode 2. So basically, you're going back and forth every subsequent episode from each of the 2 arcs in that order. And it's really easy to follow, but it is kind of weird to actually follow like this. In fact, when I actually started watching Danganronpa 3, I actually straight up just watched the Future Arc episodes first. But I realized about 6 or 7 episodes into the Future Arc that I was actually watching it wrong, and that there were actually spoilers from the Despair Arc for the Future Arc. That's how weird it is. Yes, you'll get spoilers from the Future Arc and Despair Arc at the same time for spoilers for both different arcs. It's very confusing and my head hurts, oh my god. And finally, after Despair Arc Episode 11 and then Future Arc Episode 12, there is no Despair Arc Episode 12 by the way, but then it is finally time to end it off with Hope Arc, which is one final episode, and I think it's actually a longer episode in general, but it's the final episode in the Hope's Peak Academy series. And that is Danganronpa 3, and that's how you watch it. Obviously, it has spoilers for Danganronpa 1, 2, and also Despair Girls. That one was a lot. That one's really freaking complicated. But now we can actually get back to the real juicy stuff. The next installment in this series is actually the most recent installment in this series because Danganronpa V3 actually came out in 2017. Danganronpa 3 actually came out in 2016, so it's basically just like a year difference. But ever since 2017, there has not been a new game or anything about Danganronpa. But we'll get into all that later. Danganronpa 3 is obviously a game, and it has spoilers for all previous titles right from when you boot up the game. Do not even open the game until you're ready. It's available on PC via Steam, PlayStation Vita, and PlayStation 4. And like they just said, it does have spoilers for everything in the Danganronpa series. Oh boy. Okay, so yeah. Now for me, when I was actually kind of in the know about Danganronpa V3, when I was actually kind of getting into the series, my friends were actually telling me that Danganronpa V3 has nothing to do with Danganronpa 1, 2, another episode, or Danganronpa 3. So initially, I thought this was basically not even really a sequel, but maybe like a reboot or something like that. Now, I will say with that previous disposition that it is not. It is kind of a sequel, but at the same time, it's still its own thing. If you have not played Danganronpa V3 at this point, then I heavily implore you guys to play the game yourselves and understand what happened in that game and why I'm saying that it does actually have spoilers for Danganronpa 1, 2, 3, and another episode. Even though I don't like that game, I have to talk about it. Anyway, that's basically it for all the main installments of the series, but there's also supplementary material, which includes Danganronpa 0, which is the novel. I was talking about this before, but Danganronpa 0 does take place before the events of Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, and actually does explain some things and scenarios that take place before that game. It actually does wrap up a whole lot of weird plot points and questions, and I do actually heavily encourage people to actually read it. There are no pictures. It's not a manga, so obviously, it's just kind of sitting there with pages upon pages of text, but it's still pretty damn good. There's also the Makoto Naegi secret file. Naegi Makoto, The Worst Day of My Life, is actually a 25-page booklet featuring a short story written by Kazutaka Kodaka himself concerning the circumstances that led Makoto Naegi's enrollment in Hope's Peak Academy. This booklet was bundled with the DVD/Blu-ray disc Volume 1 of the Danganronpa the Animation. So it's not entirely important, but it is actually, good supplementary material. I mean, that is what it is. And it is basically like a prequel. I'm pretty sure it actually is taking place before the events of Danganronpa 0. So I guess you could say that it actually is the true start of the series, I guess. Danganronpa If is a novel, which really is weird because it's not really a novel. It's really just like a kind of page type of weird thing in Danganronpa 2. Yes, this is actually basically like a what if scenario from Danganronpa 2, which actually takes place in Danganronpa 1. kind of weird for me to say that, but basically it's like a what if scenario. What if everybody survived the events of Danganronpa 1? And it's really, really good. And I actually really like the story myself, actually. And I actually do think it's really worth the read. There's Danganronpa Kirigiri, which is a novel series, which actually had its most recent and last volume actually this year. And I actually have never read it yet, but I mean, maybe someday on stream I will. I think it's actually pretty good. It basically actually has basically like a prequel story for Kyoko Kirigiri. And, well, I can't really say what it's really about in terms of her story, but it's really, really good from what I've actually heard. And I should probably actually check it out myself, actually. Now, after you play Danganronpa 2, you can actually go on ahead and read the Danganronpa Togami novel, which is basically what Danganronpa Kirigiri did, except for Togami. After Danganronpa Another Episode, you can actually read Ultimate Despair Hagakure, which is a novel. I have never read this, and honestly, I've never heard of this novel a day in my life, but it's another thing I probably should really check out, actually. Then, after Danganronpa 3, The End of Host Peak Academy High School, there is Danganronpa Gaiden Killer Killer, which is a manga. I guess it's a manga version of Danganronpa 3. There's also Danganronpa 2.5, which is an anime OVA, which actually pertains to a certain character and is very, very special and very unique. It actually is canon, and it is actually a really great watch to actually have. But with that being said, guys, that is the entirety of how you get into the Danganronpa series. Now, I'm pretty sure at this point, the only thing that I've ever actually left out is like merchandising or a promotion or whatever, all that stuff, maybe even some beta content, but this is not the video for that, obviously. This video is purely about how the hell does the average person who doesn't even know about Danganronpa get into Danganronpa, and that is exactly what I just told you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, because this video was very miscombobulated in terms of recording, and I hope that I actually got out all of my thoughts and all of the information that you guys needed. I know this is a thing that you guys have actually been asking for a little while now, and I'm very sorry for actually just getting into it right now, but I hope that you guys can actually enjoy it nonetheless. And I hope that this holiday season, even though Danganronpa is what it is, I hope that it actually makes you happy and it actually gives you some really great entertainment, because I mean, Danganronpa in of itself is a great series regardless, so I really hope you enjoy it. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to go on ahead and enjoy the holidays and my break and all that stuff. I'm still working on the Danganronpa review, and it'll probably be out before the end of the year. Be on the lookout for that. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to be making a lot more videos in the future. If you guys like this video, like this video. And if you guys like you saw and you want to see more, why not subscribe to the channel? I have a Twitter, which is KamyKam77, which you guys should follow, as well as a Discord, link in the description down below. Thank y'all for watching. Have a good night or day whenever you're watching this. And as always, hasta.